I look back as, proud to be a Blue Jacket. The guys battled so hard all season long, had a crappy start, and to finish the way we did was, really impressive. And hopefully, we can get some rest this summer and get right back at it. Obviously, whenever you don't win the Stanley Cup, you fall short of what you achieved every year.
How do you avoid the crappy start? It's been 2 years now. I know you've talked about it a lot. What's the plan going into the summer to come back?
Conditioning. We've all talked about that. We just had a meeting about that, and understanding, roles, and just you can't just flip the switch. Be like, oh wow, we played so. It's kind of like how we did last year. Finished so strong. You think it's just going to carry over. That doesn't happen. Everybody's coming in fresh, and you have to, realize that come Thanksgiving time, a lot of times the teams are in the playoffs are in the playoffs. And there's not much changing. So just understanding that each game is just as important as the next.
Can you talk about the respect you think this team has gained over these past couple of years, especially maybe in this year?
I don't think we're going to catch anybody off guard anymore. I don't think it's this situation like it was 2 years ago where, teams are coming in and, maybe it's a point night for you, kind of cheat and get your cookies. It's going to be a hard-fought game every year or every day now. You get ramped up to play Detroit, Montreal, Boston, Pittsburgh, all these great teams that have been good for so long. I think that we're going to run into that where we're going to get everybody's A game from now on.
You've been the underdog, and you guys have liked that role, but do you think you'll still be the underdog now?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think we're going to catch anybody surprised anymore. I think everybody realizes the identity that we've created here, and it's going to be a hard-fought game, so they know that every game coming in, they're going to have to bring their A game or, we're going to run them out of the building. So we got to expect everybody's top-notch game, and it's going to be hard-fought for every single 2 points next year.
James, I would suspect that a team whose on-ice identity is built on hard work would have been working hard and conditioning the past couple of years. So what different needs to happen there?
I think it's more of the mental mindset of coming in and being a professional, prepared to work from day one. Sometimes you kind of, dip your toes in the water instead of jumping right in and kind of feeling, how it's going to be. Oh, we got 82 games left, or we got 80 games left, we got 75. And understanding that those first 2 games are just as important as the games in end of March, that you're battling for every point to climb up the ladder in the standings. So we don't want to have to keep going through the last 3 months of playing playoff hockey just to get into the playoffs by the skin of our teeth, and realizing that we have to be first class, top of our game every single game, and from here on out, and that just carries over from in the off season into the training camp into the regular season.
James, is there a moment from this season that particularly stands out that you'll remember, and also is there one you'd like to forget?
The whole season, I love the guys in this room. It is so fun every day to come into the locker room and have 23 of your best buddies going to war every day. What I would like to forget is the whole first round of the playoffs. It's tough because on a personal level, I thought I had a really good year from start to finish. Stayed pretty much healthy, and then I don't know what happened in the playoffs. I couldn't get a bounce, and everything just went wrong, and it's been hard to sleep here. But just try to forget about it and move on.
Do you burn that tape? Watch it as motivation? I mean, when something like that happens, after what you pointed out was a good regular season, how do you deal with that moving forward, James?
You definitely don't watch it. It wasn't the lack of effort or the will or the want that I wanted to win. It's just one of those things where it's hard for you guys to see, but pucks bouncing, just little stuff that you don't see. It just looks like what's the guy doing? And it just compounded, and then sometimes then you squeeze your stick a little tighter, and then you think about, is it going to happen again? And then the bad negative thoughts come in, and nothing good comes out with negative thoughts, and I just have to kind of move on.
It was noticeable when you were on the power play, the pressure that you saw on the points from the Penguins. Like they were taking that shot away. I know a lot of teams tried, but they were really, really aggressive with that. Do you feel like they targeted you in that situation and in others?
I would probably think so. Being, you know, in the top 10 in power play points this year and third among D-men, they're probably like, hey, let's not let this guy, you know, they have a scouting report too, just like we do for them. So, but I thought the rest of the guys on the team did a fantastic job into creating momentum for the power play. I think we might have almost scored a goal in each game, and I didn't produce points-wise, but hopefully, you know, we're a good thing that we have teammates and they got the job done.
For the fans that have been with this team from the beginning and suffered through those bad years and the journeyman years, and they wanted something to cheer about, they wanted a winner this year. I know you wanted to win the series, but what you brought to the fans has raised their spirits for next season. Do you see that in this community, and you're here all year long?
Oh, 100%. It's fun to see that these seats full every time in the playoffs, and something like 180 decibels at one point. I mean, that's literally ear piercing, where you couldn't hear each other on the bench talking to each other. You had to, like, you know, almost get into a whisper and yell into the guy's ear. I mean, it was fun to see. And after our first win, I got like 50-something text messages from people around the community. But at the same time, you know, we're not satisfied as a group. It's disappointing, but you know, hopefully it's a start of something special, and you know, we can keep on making strides forward.
Where'd you get that number, 180 decibels? Is that like official?
I don't know. I heard something like that. I might make that up. That might be like speed of sound or something. Just coming from a hockey player, who knows? I probably just made that up. So, but it was loud. Let's put it that way. Really, I mean, people, if you're watching on TV, you just couldn't understand the noise level in this building. I remember last game saying to Jack, when we score this fourth goal, this roof might come down. And sure enough, you know, we didn't, you know, get the goal, but you know, we went out swinging at least.
Contractually, I don't think we're allowed to let you guys out of end of the year interviews without asking about the captaincy. I mean, did the success that you guys had this year prove that the C is overrated and that you guys have great leadership?
Yeah, I mean, you could say that. I think
I just
guys,
did.
Yeah, exactly. It does. It comes within a group, and everybody is a leader in their own way. Some guys go out there and fight. Some guys go out there and score, and all in between. You know, and for guys that really stepped up this year into playing in a situation and creating that leadership, and you know, even the young guys showed leadership. I mean, coming into their first playoffs and playing tremendous. It just shows what kind of group we have here. We have a resilient group that, you know, we're just going to continue and getting better.
You have health issues too, Jeff, in the offseason?
Yeah, sure. I think we all do.
You can talk about them now, right?
I guess I can. Game 3, I had like an oblique rib cartilage tear in my right side. Kind of prevented me from reaching and doing other things. My head doesn't feel that great last night. I said my back hurt, so I didn't have to do the 20-minute protocol of trying to go through a concussion thing. Guess I probably shouldn't say that on tape. But
Just did.
yeah, I just, you know, I don't want to feel like going in and talking to doctors for 20 minutes and telling them my head's fine, but, you know, it's playoff hockey, I guess.
How many guys were playing through things?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot of guys were playing through things. I think Murray had a fracture in his foot. Guys with, you know, separated shoulders. You know, Nick came back after 2.5 weeks with an MCL sprain, and that's usually 4 to 6 weeks. So that's literally playoff hockey. I mean, it's survival of the fittest.